to our podcast, Help Me Find Him. We are now in episode 3. Again, I am Misha Renee, and this is
Drea Renee.
And if this is your first time joining, just so you know, I am the girl who went viral for hopping on a TikTok trend and looking for this man online. And lo and behold, I found his wife. Oh. So if you don't know, they also call me Little Miss Cheetah.
Hey.
But we are back, and we are back with episode 3 of Help Me Find Him. This is my co-host, Drea, who also was recording the infamous video. And we're just excited to be here. So today's video, or better yet, our TikTok that we want to talk about happens to be about Hinge. There was this girl who just wanted us to know how cringy her Hinge account was. You tell them a little bit, Dre.
So she played the voice memos on about 4 or 5 different men's profiles. And let me just say, you are in for a good laugh because they are all hilarious.
Yes.
Especially the last one.
Yes.
He starts singing.
So we won't get too far into it. We will let you watch it, and then we'll come back and we're going to talk about it, all right?
Hinge is so cringy, Al Ameo.
I bet you can't cook like me. Like, I'm not a chef or anything, you know, shit like that, but I've done my fair share of work at restaurants and shit like that. So, you know what I'm saying? Salmon, Alfredo, all that extra shit. I'm making that shit from scratch. Now, I know you're not cooking like me, so let's just stop all that chatting right now type shit. Shit, if you want to eat good, swipe up, like me, let me know. Because I'm going to throw down.
Okay, so I'm geeked up. I'm going to do an impression of the old pervert dude from Family Guy. Here we go. Chris, you want some popsicles?
Hello, I'm actually British, and I would love to get to know you, so, yeah, there it is.
You're actually trying to hang out? If so, slap my line, get some weed, kick it, maybe grab a bite to eat or some shit. Catch a fucking vibe, mate.
Alright, bet. Look, this is a fucking classic song, bro. Check it out. Oh, don't you dare look back. Just keep your eyes on me. She said you're holding back. I said, shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh. Come on, bro. And I hit that note, bro.
So, I don't know which voice memo moved you the most, Dre.
Oh, my God. So the one that was the funniest to me was the last one. But we're going to talk about this first one. He tried to say he was a better cook than the woman because he went to he was a chef in some restaurants.
He said he cooked at a couple restaurants. He said, I'm no chef, but, I cook a little bit.
And he said your sauce better be from scratch. First of all, sir, my sauce is from scratch. You want to have a competition?
Okay.
Because my Alfredo, especially my salmon Alfredo, is top tier.
But do you want a duel? But you know what?
I
feel like they always say that. They be like, you ever see the post? I can't even get it out. The post be like, so you say you could cook, but don't pull up cooking no damn Alfredo. Because that's every girl's favorite meal.
Listen.
Oh, I could cook, baby. Don't get it twisted. I'm going to pop up with the Alfredo.
That's definitely my favorite meal to make, and it's so easy. But since I've been making my sauce from scratch, that's just something that I enjoy making. And, people love it.
I think it's really good. I think it's really, really good. My favorite one was probably the one where he just out of nowhere started talking in British. It was like, hello, governor. I was like, what?
I mean, how do you just go from regular English to the British accent?
Right. I think it's so funny too, that they allow voice notes on her. Because when Hinge first started, it didn't do voice notes. And then over time it did voice notes. And it's kind of like, it's almost like an interesting concept to get to see. Does the voice match the pictures?
Right. Because that did. I don't think.
It's interesting, but
it don't match sometimes. But sometimes it's just funny to listen to. Just to see how their voice is.
What's your
see
voice
what they're going to say.
You ain't going to, even though I feel like I got a good voice, you ain't going to catch me with no voice note. You going to have to see me in person. You got to see this shit in person.
My voice, I don't like listening to myself. But I definitely send voice messages on text messages. I'd rather send a voice message than text.
But I don't send men voice memos.
I do.
I think I send y'all voice memos, especially when I got something long. I be like, oh, I'm gonna tell you.
I be trying to sound sexy. I be like, hey, baby.
But you also said you like that last one. So what was that song he sang? What was that song he sang?
Wait. I don't know the word. Shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. I said, ooh, shut up and dance with me. Now, I don't know who he was trying to impress.
I was about to say,
But-
I appreciated that he started singing. It told him to sing his favorite song, and he sang that song. So I think
my God.
he was like giving the whistle call to "Ooh" for the snow bunnies. So if you a snow bunny and you watch the show and you see that TikTok, go find that man's Hinge because he said "Ooh," because I don't know too many chocolate females that's gonna be like we knew it though,
you
but
never know. There might be one chocolate female like, oh my God, this is the man of my dreams.
we knew it, but
It's my
I feel
favorite
like
song.
where we from, we know a lot of mixed music
Mixed,
because
right.
we from a place where
It's
we
mixed.
mix and mingle, right?
Right.
Yeah. That was funny. So that's all we really got to say about the Hinge video. We just wanted you guys to have a good laugh, and we decided to actually do an experiment ourselves with Hinge. So after seeing that video, we were inspired to basically go on our Hinge accounts because I don't believe you weren't on yours at all.
No, I deleted my Hinge account
You
because
deleted it. You weren't
long
feeling
story.
it?
No, I was feeling it, but I done met someone on there, so I was like, let me delete it because there really ain't no point. We'll get into that later.
But she had deleted hers, and mine I just hadn't used it in forever, like it was super outdated. So we decided, why don't we revive our Hinge accounts? But instead of just reviving them, we did what?
So I logged into Misha Renee's account, and Misha logged into my Hinge account, and from there we was just on there trying to figure out how would that person approach this man, or how will we communicate with this person from that person's perspective.
But my thing was, so I don't know, maybe you were trying to kind of incorporate your inner Misha Renee. I was actually
trying.
moving like Misha Renee with yours. Like I was actually like going off of stuff. Like I was trying to, I built her because I had to do her profile from scratch because she deleted it. So I had to redo it and get the pictures and stuff. And she updated some pictures for me. We did
Definitely.
We allowed ourselves to pick the pictures we wanted to use. But for Drea's, I was like, okay, I want this to be what I feel like is best for Drea.
Yeah.
I wanted to pick things that I felt like were, that spoke to me, that I felt like, I don't know how to put it. Like, I just wanted them, like, whenever I was putting your profile and stuff, like, for instance, there was this one question, and it was like, something about, like, where should you take me or something like that. And I was like, just plan the date.
Right.
Because I feel like if you would have answered it, you'd have been like, oh, you can take me here. Like, you'd have been nice with
Right.
it. And I was like, nah, nigga. I say nigga. Like, I gotta stop that.
No,
but
nigga.
nah, plan the date. So I wanted to kind of move with that, like, approach of, like, this is Drea, but this is stern, and this is kind of like me coming as a friend perspective, and also a protective friend of you, and wanting to make sure that I'm picking like the right guys and different guys for you. I picked a lot of different men.
I definitely was having trouble on her account. I'm not even going to lie. I don't know. Maybe the preference need to change, but I swear I changed the preference about 4 or 5 times. But we just kept getting these same type of man. I'm just like, oh, then we kept getting these 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds. I'm like, how are they even old enough for these accounts? The babies definitely love some Misha Renee. And the white boys love her. I'm not even going to lie. She probably got like 50 white boys that like her. And I'm just like, none of these are her type. Like, what am I going to do? I mean, there were some fine black men, you start a conversation, but sometimes they don't conversate back. Like, it's just like you're talking to the wall. So it's like, why are y'all even on this account if y'all do not want to communicate? Like, what is your purpose on Hinge?
Yeah.
So that's
that's my problem.
Yeah, it's like, what are you looking for?
Because I do what they do. So with your account,
definitely.
You seen that earlier
She
today. We
definitely
sat
left niggas
down
on.
and I went through like all the people that I just have been like sitting on. Because like I personally am not on Hinge a lot.
Right.
So when I went on there, like when I went on there trying to do the whole experiment, it was like one day I was on there and then maybe 3 days would go by and I'd be like, oh, let me see. And 3 more days would go by. So it was like hard for me to keep up with it. But I feel like I'm more of an in-person person. Like I like dating
Definitely.
apps, but I'm more of an in-person person.
I'm more in person too. I don't mind the dating app, just to get to know each other, and we can exchange numbers, and we could talk. We can have FaceTime, chats, and send voice memos like on the text messages, like I like. But it was just a little hard for me to try to talk to these men and Misha's perspective, because I will start a conversation.
That's a lot of shoes to fill.
They will say something back. They will definitely say something back. But then it's like after that, it was like that was it. It's like, hey. Then it's like, hey, how are you? Like I was trying to get to know this guy for her, And it's like, I was like, what do you do? This and that. He never responded back. So I'm just like, so
Oh,
maybe.
and don't forget to tell him about the guy that asked what I do.
Oh, yeah, there was this cute guy. Today, all this happened today. He messaged Misha, well, me actually. And he was telling me what he did for his career. And he asked, what do you do? And I was just like, oh, shit. I didn't even message back because I'm like, damn, what does Misha do?
My best friend since like 12 doesn't know what I do. I mean, I did just change jobs this year, but I was like, girl, this is what I do. But
I didn't want to say stripper because you said you gave up that life 2 days ago. I'm just playing.
I was a stripper. Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a hoe. And I'm admitting it. I will take it back.
Like, no, y'all. She wasn't a stripper, but I definitely didn't know. I didn't know her job title, but
yeah,
you know,
it was just totally fun because I actually don't really like the question, like, what do you do? I mean, it's okay to ask. I mean, it's gonna come up. People do ask that, but I also am like, why do you need to know my personal life? I mean,
if you want to get to know somebody, you want to know what they do. Like, okay, what type of money you make? You're like. You don't want to find out he's a damn serial killer.
You just want to know if you fucking with a bum bitch or not. You ain't fucking with no bum nigga. You ain't fucking with no bum bitch. No, I'm playing.
Or you don't want him to be a serial killer. Like, what they's like, I'm a serial killer.
They would never say. Nobody says
you don't know that,
Andre. Nobody. Would you think you're gonna message somebody? Hey, what do you do? I'm a serial killer. I kill people for a living. What?
Yep, gotta go.
Anyways, but no, when I was on Drea's, I felt like I was getting really good guys, and I felt like it was just hard to keep up with the messages. But I felt like there was really cute guys, and I also think that Drea was at a little bit of a what is it called? Because she deleted and recreated her account, I felt like she was at an advantage. Yeah. Because it was like all these dudes were coming in new. While my account, I had it open already. So there was a lot of people I hadn't messaged back for like a year. So they were just sitting there. And I'm like, Drea, go back and message
But I
them.
didn't because it was like, Misha left them.
Too much.
She left them all on I'm like, she obviously wasn't interested. So I'm not. Then it's from like January, February. It's July.
I'm an in-person girl. You have to see this shit in person.
I mean, I get it.
You have to see this shit in person.
But you left them on red.
You got to see this shit in person. in person. No, but I think that what I really liked about the experiment in itself was like building Dre's profile from scratch. I wish you would have had that with me so you could kind of answer it how you think I would answer it. Because there was this one question and I think it was like something about like being with me is like being with me is like being treated like a king. That's what I put because I feel like Drea, she's a pamper. She gonna take care of you. I put that and I was like, you know what? That's really her. Like I was answering that for her. Being with me, I feel like I treat men like a king. I think I do in some aspects, but I know she gonna she gonna make sure you straight. So I really liked the fact that I had to step into her shoes with that, and then picking out her pictures and deciding she had the ugliest picture for mine at first. It wasn't ugly. I had picked a picture, but it wasn't ugly. Picture.
It was a cute, like winky face picture.
It was a silly picture, and she led with that.
It was
I'm like,
cute,
you don't
but they was liking it.
You don't lead with that.
They was loving it.
You don't lead with that. You lead with, you give them grown, sexy,
And I definitely changed it to her grown and sexy picture that she wanted. And definitely was getting a lot of likes.
Because you got to give them the Misha Renee experience.
Okay, Mercedes.
But no, I definitely
shout out to P Valley.
That show is the shit. Mm-hmm. But no, what would you say, like, if you were talking to other girls about, like, switching Hinge accounts, would you think it's something that other girls should try just to see? Because you feel like the guys that I pick for you are guys that you would typically pick, but they were really cute.
As long as the girls are, like, close friends. Like, I wouldn't just do it with, like, someone who were just, like, we're just hanging out. Like, no.
Yeah, like your best
But, like,
friend.
me and Misha been best friends forever. So, yes, like, but a couple of my friends are in relationships, so I remember. So,
well, like people, who
we're
know
the single ones.
I feel like it would be cool because I think that sometimes, like us as women, we get on there and we either like we might see somebody and we'll be like, oh, okay, I'll go for that or something like that, and your friends are looking and they're like, no, he's cute, he got this going on. Like I was looking at people's profile. I'm like, he's this age, he got this many kids, he likes to smoke, he likes to drink, he works here, he's from there. Okay, let me see a couple of his pictures. He's cute. That's a match. So, we was really going through it. I feel like sometimes when we look for ourselves, not that we shorthand ourselves, but we might be like, okay.
See, that's what I was doing with yours. I was definitely trying to find men more like on your level, like degrees and who have something going for herself. Not want someone whose their pictures are throwing up gang signs and got tattoos. And that's what I was avoiding these young boys.
You. Oh. I was making sure.
See, but she knows I like the thugs. Mm-hmm. I like the gang members. Like, no, I'm just playing.
She ain't playing.
I like a street nigga sometimes, like a little rough.
But I was avoiding them because I think that you need to try something different because I do feel like those type of guys, like, no offense, I'm sure there's some tatted, yatted man out there that wants to, start a family. But sometimes some type of guys, we've dated them. We see what they have to offer. So let's see what a different type of guy has to offer,
No, I definitely get it. And I appreciate you for trying to switch it up on a girl.
Switch it.
I can't wait to get back in my Hinge account because there's some fun men in my messages.
I can't wait. We should have set each other up on a date.
Oh, Jesus.
Maybe next time. Maybe that'll be the extension of this next time.
Oh, we could.
We'll set each other up on a date. It'll be a blind date. And then we'll see how it goes. Stay tuned. That might be a further episode down the line, but But yes, I would say it was definitely a great experiment. I'm really glad we did it. And,
Me too.
I think it was fun. I had a good time with it. Hinge is all fun and games. You might meet your husband. You might meet a slime. You never know, but we have fun with it.
Yes, we did.
Hey.
Cheers to that.
Yeah.
This one's for you.
You. My number one.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back to our podcast, Help Me Find Him. As you know, it is story time.
Story time.
So we are going to discuss our experience that we had or have with these dating sites, Hinge, Plenty of Fish,
Tinder.
Oh, I forgot about Tinder. We're going to talk about the Tinder swindler.
Tender love.
So I'm going to start off with my stories, y'all. I'm going to just take it back for you guys a little bit with Plenty of Fish. This was back in what year? 2000 and...
Pre-baby. So what was that?
Pre-baby. 2000 and... It might have been 17.
2017. Yeah.
It was like the end of 17.
Like 2017, 20. Yeah.
So I was on a dating app, Plenty of Fish, and I met a guy. I ain't going to say his name. Just know.
Please don't. You already did that in episode 1.
Just know that this guy he was perfect. I'm just going to say that. Say no. But I met this guy. We talked on the app. We had our first date. We went bowling. Everything was just good. Then we kind of rushed into a relationship. Well, not rushed, but after that we were together. Like a couple months after that we were together. So let's just say that was a good experience using Plenty of Fish and finding a guy.
What happened?
Well, my dumb ass fucked it up. I cheated on him. I should have never cheated, but I'm not a cheater, y'all. Just know that. It's just a sticky situation. But just know that I cheated, and I told him that I cheated, and we broke up, and he kind of hated me for a little bit, like literally. But now we are, we still talk right now. We are friends.
They'll never be the same.
We will never be together probably again, but it's okay.
Because what I've told you multiple times, when you do a man wrong, it's way different than when they do us wrong. We do y'all wrong, it's like... Bitch, don't you ever.
I feel like
ever.
Right, I feel like when a woman does something to a man, it's like the end of the world.
Yeah.
They act like they're going to damn die, basically.
No, it's like it hits them 10 times harder. Like, I've never cheated on a man to my knowledge.
Don't do it. Say no. At least I told, I did it, and I actually manned up and told on myself. But, sometimes, I was younger, so I really didn't care. But,
maybe you shouldn't have told.
No, I had to tell. Maybe I shouldn't have told. Maybe I should have been with him.
Maybe you shouldn't have told. No.
Well, that was my first story from using
Plenty of Fish.
From using a dating site called Plenty of Fish. I don't think they have anymore.
Is it? I don't know. I haven't. I don't know if I've ever been on that one.
Well,
yes, I have, but I ran into my ex-boyfriend on there, and I got off of it.
You had a Plenty of Fish site.
But I got off of it because I ran into my ex-boyfriend.
You did.
There, within a month after he moved out of the house.
All right, let me tell you about my experience with Hinge. So I use Hinge right now recently, obviously. I met this guy back in January. I seen his picture. I was like, all right. He had a little voice memo himself. And it was the accent for me. It was an accident. He was tall. He was dark. He had dimples. And he was just overall, it's like, oh my God, he's so sexy. So we ended up messaging each other. You know, we ended up exchanging numbers. And months down the line, he ended up coming to see me a couple times.
How far did he come?
He came.
Just for context.
He came a couple hours. He literally.
Because you live in PA and he lives in a different state.
He was from Ohio. Well, he's actually from Florida, but lived in Ohio. So he actually came a couple times to see me from Ohio. We hung out. We laid up. We played some.
What does laid up mean?
We laid and played.
What does laid and played mean? The audience would like to know. We don't really know what that means.
Y'all are adults. Y'all know what laid and played mean. We laid in the bed. We played around a couple times. You know, a couple adult.
Spell it out for us.
It's called SEX, girl. SEX. So
okay.
The sex was great. Yes. So I actually invited him on a trip with me. We actually ended up going to New Orleans last month, and it was good. You know, we got down there. The vibes when we first got down there was perfect. Like our Friday night was like the perfect night. It was just we got drunk. We went to the bar, had great food. Went back to the room. I was a little drunk. I think we had a little sex. I'm not sure. We was both a little drunk, but just know we were supposed to end up going back out that night.
We had a little sex.
I think we had a little sex. But I don't know. It got a little weird after that Friday night. Coming back home Monday, you know, it was like kind of distant, like just a little awkward, like coming through the airport and the car ride home. So come to find out, you know, he basically told me that I was complaining too much on the trip and that he wasn't really feeling me anymore. So that kind of blew my mind a little bit because I'm like, how could someone be so annoying that you just completely like don't want to fuck with them? But you know what?
Yeah.
Let's just fast forward that. We are still friends to this day. Yeah, Misha doesn't want me to be his friend. But
yeah, I think it's unnecessary.
It might be because, you know, feelings are still there a little bit for me.
Right.
But
I think you're compromising for the sake of not losing him, but in all actuality, I don't know if he would have done the same or if he cared enough to do the same.
Oh, that's kind of hard. But I feel like my feelings for him are slowly decreasing. Period. So I feel like us being friends will be okay because it's not like we was in a relationship. So we were friends from the start. So it just kind of like threw me off a little bit when he was like, you know, you completely thrown. I'm just like, we're friends first though. Like, what happened?
Yeah,
like,
so what happened?
Kind of like act like we were together and it's like, all right, I can't be with you.
But
like,
we
was friends.
You said y'all were friends first, but it really was off of romantic interest first.
It was romantic interest, and you know, it's still a little there, but I can tell it's slowly wearing off. So I'm not really mad. Like Hinge is definitely, I'm not gonna say a bad spot to find someone because you can definitely find love on these dating sites.
And it's the most in-depth dating site of all.
It is, and you know what? I'm about to get right back on there again to find just someone.
I'm gonna set her up on a date this time.
Hey, set me up on a blind date.
Take me out the dinner.
I ain't even scared no more. I'm normally like a scaredy cat, but I'm ready for a dinner or two, maybe. And there's some good pics up in my messages, so we'll see.
I picked some good people, some good men.
Yeah, she did. So let's hear about your experience with Hinge and these dating sites.
Yes. So my experience goes way back. Actually, I do have two stories, but they're both from Tinder. They're from back in the day. Because I have a Hinge, as we know, but like it's just really hard for me to keep up with like life and online dating. I think like I'm one of those people. I just say, you know, you got to see this shit in person. You got to see this shit in person. Okay.
That?
I forget. That's a good question, but
Chris Brown.
Is it?
I think.
Oh shit, I don't know.
It's one of his damn lines. Someone's song. I think it's Chris Brown.
But yeah, I can't really keep up with the whole like online dating thing. Like I'll like a couple dudes, message a couple dudes, and then I'll like disappear, which is what Drea noticed whenever she was going through my hand. She's like, "You left all these dudes on red." Like I disappeared and I turned the app
definitely
off
left them on red like back in January. I'm like,
yeah,
dang.
I never opened it again.
February or March. I'm like, shit. She want me to go back and I'm not rekindling.
Go back and say,
shit.
"Hey, see who with the shits."
They gonna be like, "You been ghost for 5 months. Where the hell you been?"
I took the top off. I was just like hot sauce. Shorty, give me that mean mouth.
Hey.
But no, so my story with Tinder back in the day, I was weird about Tinder. So my thing was like I was messing with Tinder around that era when that Facebook feature first came in where you could like connect your Facebook. So I would not actually talk to a dude on Tinder or I'm sorry, I wouldn't go on a date with a dude on Tinder unless I like had mutual friends with him on Facebook.
Oh,
because we talked about
very
this
picky.
episode 1
And scared.
I don't play. But so I went on a date with one guy. We had mutual friends from my college. And he was in a fraternity, and so we hung out for a little bit. He was not necessarily my type. We went on a couple different dates. This was like I was like 21 at the time because I remember I still worked at the radio.
Wow.
And I would get free tickets.
You was a baby.
And I would go to like I was young. We would go to like I think we went to Chrisette Michelle. This was before she had the Trump issue.
What the hell?
We went to see her in concert. I think it was like Chrisette, Raheem Devon, let me serve you up. Let me serve you up. We went to their concert and we had a good time. Like me and him would have good times together. He was a little bit nerdier than I was used to, but he was still fun. The reason why we had to end things was because I would continue to invite him out to stuff because he was a good time. He would bring his friends and we were connected. It wasn't anything too deep. But one time he let his friend grab my ass.
What?
And when I told him, he didn't seem very much so concerned.
He probably thought you was down.
You grab if you're a friend and you grab my ass and you're not concerned that your friend grabbed my ass or you're not going to check them. And it wasn't even like he wasn't concerned. Like he didn't even play it off like in a cool way. He played it off in a like, I don't know what to do way. And that worried me even more.
What do you mean you don't know what to do?
Can you protect a bitch?
Can you confront your friends?
Right.
Say, do not slap her ass. She's with me.
I feel like if he would have did it, I don't care way, it would have been like, oh, you asshole. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But he really had this face like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, you don't know
like,
what the
it's
fuck
not even that
do.
serious. Just say, don't do that shit again.
Look, I'm going to show you what I'm finna do.
Bye.
But, yeah, so that was the end of that. And then my second Tinder story was this one is a hurt piece. It's not a hurt piece, but I really like this guy. So this guy I met on Tinder. I was still living at my mother's house at the time whenever I first met him in the very beginning, which was like 45 minutes out of the city. We live in Pittsburgh. So it's like 45 minutes out of the city. And so he wouldn't take me serious at first, and I understood that. We didn't have any mutual friends, actually. I understood that, though. I was like, you know what? I'd be up and down the highway. I'd be in Pittsburgh a lot. But, like, if you don't want to really get serious with me, I get it. And then I moved to Pittsburgh, whatever. I lived with you, actually. And so we went to the Gucci Mane concert.
Oh, that was lit.
We went to the Gucci Mane concert, and I had this really big, this was one of my favorite looks.
Yes, that was my favorite look, too. You had your black one piece, the
one
back.
black, one piece.
The back all out with your curls.
With the big red burgundy hair with the curls, the crochet braid.
Yes.
So I was feeling myself that night, and I happened to go into a bar, and this guy was in there, and I walked up to him because I'm a little bit confident when it's. I was like, you remember me? I was like, we used to talk on Tinder. He was like, oh my gosh, that's you. Like, oh my gosh. Like, it was very pleasant. It was a nice exchange. And then he ended up, because he had my number, so he ended up texting me the next day, and he was like, oh, like, I just want you to know, like, you're gorgeous. Like, it was really nice to meet you. And he was like, I would really love to hang out with you. He was like, especially if you live in the city now, because I did tell him that whenever I ran into him. So I was like, bet. Bank. Right. So we had a good time. We went on a couple different dates. The dates were excellent. We went, we did the sports bar thing. We did bowling. I really felt like we connected because he was a little bit older than me. So like, what I liked about him was like, we had like a little bit of similar backgrounds. Like I think at the time he told me he had lost a lot of weight.
Are we talking about that one man?
Don't put his info out.
I'm not.
Yes,
I'm trying to think.
But okay. And he had a good job. Yes. So he had lost a lot of weight, and we had that in common, and he had a really good job, and he was just like teaching me a lot of stuff. Like I remember I was telling him how I wanted to move out the city, and he's like, oh well, you should go on the website and type in like the city you currently live in and the salary you make, and see what you need to make into the other city. Well, he wasn't planning on moving yet at that point.
He was trying to get you close.
He did eventually move, but at that point he was just trying to like help a sister out. He was very like he was just knowledgeable, and he was older, and he was quirky, and he was fun, and it was a great time. And I was just young, and when it came down to was unfortunately it was I think we just kind of both were going through things like not together, but like he was going through personal issues. I was going through personal issues. Because that's around the time my Avenger died.
Oh,
My Dodge Avenger.
Rest in peace to her Avenger.
My Dodge Avenger. And I even remember when I first broke down on the side of the road and I was like Snapchatting, like, I can't believe this happened to me. And he like messaged me. He's like, are you okay? Like, is there anything I could do to help you? And I'm like, I think I'll be all right. But like, he was amazing. He was a really cool guy. And I knew at the time that he was probably talking to another girl. And as things started to dwindle down, you know, he not only was talking to another girl, but the girl that he was talking to, he married. And yeah. So, but what I will say, I know there's not that much wine left. Look.
Sip our wine to that one, because there is no way.
He married. But what I will say about it, because I ain't no hating asshole, his wife is gorgeous. And I will say, if that was my competition, if that's who I was going up against, then I'm glad that that's who I was battling against.
All right. No, seriously.
Because she was pretty as hell.
Real pretty.
But yeah, you know, I don't look at him as the one that got away, but I always feel like if they get married after, like, in between the midst of like I was talking to you and then you were talking to your future wife, I feel like I was a good contender.
Right.
You know, like I was.
No, I agree.
I was definitely that bitch.
He was probably like, all right, let me see.
She
was probably just a little older, you know.
Yeah, I think he.
And you being so young,
probably picked her for more than like she was. She seemed like she's really dope. Like I'll give him that. And I was young. I was very young at the time. I was like 23. So, you know, all is well, all is fair in love and war. And I wish him the best. He doesn't live around here anymore, but he was a great guy. I literally have nothing bad to say about him or my experience with him. Like he was fun, and I wish more guys like that came around.
Oh, girl.
But yeah, that's my story with Tinder. After that, I feel like I really just chilled out because Tinder eventually turned into just.
I never used Tinder.
Really?
One of the only apps I think I never used. But it's just funny because I know y'all seen the Netflix show called The Tinder Swindler. Like how? Please tell me how this man swindled.
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it.
He swindled millions of dollars from women. Like, these women was literally falling in love with this man. This man had nothing for real. You know, the thing is, he would meet a girl on Tinder. They will fall in love with him. He will make them their girlfriend within like a month. And then he'll start asking for money. Like, the first girl literally opened like 6 or 7 credit cards just to give him money. There was probably like,
the fuck?
There was a lot of women, yes. Like, he had IDs to like a lot of cities. He even had a Pennsylvania ID. I don't know who from PA that got swindled from this man.
Hey, yo, if you watching this show and you was...
a lot of these women were from like out of the country, and it's crazy because he was what? I think he was Pakistani. He was something that... He wasn't American, just know that. But he would use the one girl's money to go out and find another girl and like fly them out. Like, it's crazy because their first date was on a jet. So she was like blown away. She was like, wow, like this is how he's living. I'm in love. But really the reality is he was using other women's money to make the other woman happy. So he will find a girl, get their money, then find another girl on Tinder, and then start talking to the other girl and start hanging out and flying and doing whatever, going to different countries and just spending another girl's money. But the whole thing is he was trying to make that woman like feel bad for him, saying like he has an enemy. Someone was out to get him. That he couldn't use his credit card.
Falls for that shit.
Man, I said there is no way this man swindled millions of dollars.
You asked me for money. You can ask me if you ask me to be your girlfriend too quick. And it depends on the vibe I'm getting from you. If I feel like you're like just asking because you feel like there's a good vibe, then I might be with it. But you start asking for money, I might be like, oh no.
Yeah, y'all just gotta be careful using these apps because you know you just never know a man's intention. And definitely watch the Tinder Swindler on Netflix. I don't even know if it's on there anymore.
This is not an ad.
I don't give a shit. Man, watch that shit because that shit's crazy.
But this is why shit like that is why you gotta see this shit in person.
Exactly.
Because I'm not finna get played like that.
No, they was seeing them in person.
I know they probably was seeing them in person, but I need to do background checks. I do background checks. Fuck out of here. I will find your Facebook. I will find a way to find your full name, to find your Facebook, to find our mutual friends, to figure out who I need to contact.
Where he lived. He didn't have shit.
After he stole her money?
No, the last girl was smart. She actually was like, let me sell your designer clothes for money. Because he was running low on money. She was like, let me sell your designer clothes. She kept all that money. And he had designer on top of designer clothes. Good. And it's just crazy, like, a man really was out there like that. That man did a little bit of jail time. He ain't that shit. He's out right now. Probably swindling again.
I think he's about to get sued for using the name though, or something like that.
He was using the billionaire's name.
Like it was the name he was using. He wasn't really related to.
No, he wasn't. It was fraud.
But online dating. Remember back in the day, like, and this is where I'm gonna like close this out.
Okay.
Back in the day, when you would do like, what was it? Shit, I can't even think of the name of it. But you would do like the websites. It would be like not like OkCupid. It's not called that, but it would be like those websites where it was like matchmaker or some shit like that. And people would always say like Black people meet or Christian Mingle.
I did a Christian Mingle site. I ain't gonna lie.
You did a Christian Mingle site?
Yeah, but I didn't pursue it. I said I can't be on her.
I'm sorry. You did a fucking Christian Mingle site.
I said, Jesus help me. That's all.
Okay, but yeah, back in the day when you used to do these, they would tell you like be very careful, watch out. But like we kind of normalized the whole dating app thing. Like I feel like you do need to be careful. You have to be safe when you meet anybody in general, in person, online, whatever. Right. But like at the same time, I feel like it's kind of normal to just get a dating app and start meeting people and be like, and it helps you meet people that you might not even know are in your area. Like I feel like there's a lot of cute men who are like not from Pittsburgh that might be like here for college or work or like temporary stuff. And you be meeting them. So you know what? If you got the time to go on a dating app, more power to you. If you like me and you gotta catch me when you catch me, well, you know, I be out. I be in these streets.
Outside.
Catch me outside.
How about that?
Outside. But no. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 3 of Help Me Find Him. It is always a pleasure. Now, as we mentioned before, like we talk about TikTok stories and we go based off of like things that happen on TikTok. But by no means does that mean that if you have an interesting story that you can't just send it to us and have us talk about it. So if you do have something that you want to share or something that you just want to hear us chit chat about, feel free to shoot an email to everythingmisharenee@gmail.com. And other than that, you know, all I have to say is, well, we ain't got no more wine left, so there ain't even really nothing to cheers to.
We're just going to cheers.
Peace and hair grease, okay? Episode 3 is done, okay?